Winter.
Here's how it's gonna go down.
Oh. Gotta turn the sound off, or we'll get feedback. And here we are. Okay. Just sending off a message while the commercial plays for me here. Sound check. Yes, I am here. Sorry if it's a bit quiet. Uh-oh. Aries posting a bunch of stuff. So, okay everyone, how you doing today? I hope very good. This is of course Gamer 1745 here, and we are going to take a look at the upcoming Order of Battle DLC Red Star. Now, what is really interesting about this, and hey, just playing, you know, World War II from the Soviet perspective is interesting enough to start with. But this DLC is set from 1938 through to 41, or the beginning of 41. It doesn't include, you know, the Barbarossa element. So it's looking at, quite honestly, Soviet aggression. I firmly believe that Germany is the driver of World War II, and that is one of the reasons I'm so interested in wargaming from the German perspective, because they're driving the actions of what's happening and everybody's reacting. But there's another potential driver for a world conflict, and that would be the Soviet Union. You know, France, Britain, Italy wasn't going to create a world war. Oh, it might try to pick up Albania and Ethiopia, but it wasn't going to drive a world war. So, and Japan, quite honestly, they're not either. Without going, hey, everybody else is fighting a war, we can jump now. So, this is sort of the Soviet look at this. Now, I want to sort of set the scenes. Hello, Unknown, and Byron, and Van Bishop. Yes, just the only DLC which I don't have yet. Well, it's not out yet, Paul Winter, but good to know that you like the series. Okay, so setting the scene here. Japanese forces, along with the Manchukuo forces, have literally had hundreds of border battles and incidences, primarily with, shall we say, China, Mongolia, but other places as well. Now, for a lot of the border, it's not well defined where the border is, and so there's a lot of local commanders that are engaging in things. Now, the Japanese government doesn't really want a conflict with the Soviet Union, but the army on Manchukuo is almost an independent acting forces. So they have and we're going to come here and look at it in just a second. They have, shall we say, wanting to test where the border is. This really isn't Japan trying to go to Russo-Japanese War #2. At least that's my opinion. This is more of just, let's probe, let's see if we can push a little bit, that kind of thing. So that's what we're looking at here. Okay, and so we are starting out with the Khalkhin River, 1939, and this is, I believe it is the third scenario in this DLC. The Red Army launches a major offensive to defeat the Japanese. So that's what we're looking at. Before we go any further, that's a Tokarev pistol, which is not quite a copy, but a lot of the elements are taken from a Browning's 1903 model. It does have an external hammer and a few other minor minor changes to it, but very much taken from Browning's design. And of course that's a box and that's a military briefcase. Oh, Jaculia, sorry if I'm not saying hi to everybody. There's a lot of you here. Okay, so we're going into this scenario. Okay, mission briefing awaits. Start briefing. Command is impressed by your earlier success against the Japanese, but our task here is not fully done yet. Now it is time to conclude the conflict by defeating the Imperial Japanese Army aggressors decisively in order to prevent further incursions into our territory. In recent weeks, we have mobilized significant reserves. We now launch an all-out attack with the aim to fully destroy the enemy. The frontal assault against the Japanese center positions are likely to result in heavy casualties, so it is highly advised to envelop the fortified enemy lines first. In the north, advance towards the IJA supply base first, but expect mobile army detachments in order to protect this area. See the supply base over here. Once you have defeated these, turn south to take Nomonhan, but make sure your spearheads do not get cut off. That's important. Perform similar maneuvers to the south. Ideally, both pincer moves should meet at Nomonhan. Fortified IGA troops are unlikely to give up the center unless your advances force them into a risky breakout attempt to escape destruction. Our center forces are ordered to stay defensive during the flanking maneuvers, but they are tasked to aid you once you take Nomonhan, so we'll get the orange forces once we take that town. But remember, before you can close the ring around the enemy, you need to fight through the IJA forces on both flanks. Japanese armor is probably less numerous now, but should not be underestimated. Enemy aerial and artillery support is expected to be heavy, though. Okay, now before we go any further, I want to talk about Kalkin Gol is, my understanding, is the name of this river along here. That is what the Japanese figured the border was. Now, refer you back to the earlier map, you saw the border between Manchukuo and the Soviet Union runs along the river. Sorry, I don't know the exact name of that river. And so that's a reasonably well-defined area. But like you can sort of see here, it gets to be a very broad river, and the river periodically, because it's sort of in a plain, shifts and changes, so just where the border is. Now the Soviets considered the border back about 9 miles further back on Nomonhan. So we're looking at that is where the sort of conflict between the two sides is over this territory. And as you see pictured down here, this is a picture of General Zhukov. This is where, Zhukov goes back to, World War I as being a soldier, Russian Revolution, Civil War, and all that. But this campaign is what really makes his reputation as a high-level commander. You have Timoshenko, who is the one who takes over and basically mostly successfully completes the Winter War and pushes the Finns into suing for peace. And so you have Timoshenko. He gets his reputation in the Winter War. Let's see, there's a lot. I know Ari's been posting a bunch of stuff. I haven't had time. We're going to get Japanese perspective on this scenario. The DLC is entirely played from the Soviet side. But would definitely like to play an OOB version. Yeah. Ari was talking to me. He really thinks OOB would be a nice World War I game as well. And yeah, the Tula Tokoro are considered the most reliable pistol. We'll work together with the Beretta 34 as its based simplified version. Yeah, well, it's actually, yeah, it's some of that and some of Browning's earlier design as well. It is a rather reliable pistol. I don't know if I'm going to go for the most reliable, but it's very good. Hey, thanks for following the channel. We do appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to start the game here. Okay, take Nomonhan in 16 turns, destroy 35 Japanese ground units, destroy 4 Japanese air units. That is our objective. And I was given the save game to start this scenario based on things before, and we have a fair number of points. So I'm going to fully repair these. Now, as you can see, we're going to, we can click here to see our starting point is up here on this side of the river and down here. But we want to get to here, and I want to come at this from the north. So I want to come fairly heavy from the north. Yeah, let's repair and put you there. I want to have let's throw on one more tank up there. Now, down here, I want to purchase a couple of more units. One of these guys. These guys are big and slow. But I think reasonably effective in our fight here. And another cool thing which I noticed too that I was playing with, this is a flamethrower tank, so we're going to grab one of those. Not the best for facing off against enemy armor. Most assuredly, you can look at the stats down here. But still a rather effective unit. We'll put some heavy infantry here, and we'll go with our artillery support there. Now we are going to be facing somewhat superior quality. I do want to stress quality of Japanese air power, so we want to make sure we win the air war by overwhelming it. Let's put another one down here. Okay, we have reconnaissance. Let's put you there. We're gonna have still not sure on that one. We'll go with down here now. Some armor, and I think we can. We're fully deployed ground forces. Let's purchase and deploy some air power, and we're gonna put you up here. Okay. Definitely different overall strategy. Just trying to read through quickly. Music of the U.S., or at least the name. The best release date I have yet, Firefly Boy, is soon. I just checked it out before starting the stream, and all I saw was soon. So I don't have a specific date. I hope that does actually mean soon. Okay, so that's our deployment. So we'll end the deployment phase. Okay, remember 16 turns to get to the town. It's really more of a town than a city. Okay. So, oh well, okay, doing some reconnaissance. Might as well get the reconnaissance up and going and spotting all of the... Which, okay, you can only get to there. Yeah. Push up there. But what we also want to see about doing is making sure, if we can, have some flanking forces here, which will help our... Okay, a little better success than I thought I was going to get, but we will push up with him. No, we don't want to. Pound on their artillery some. We're going to move him, worrying a little bit about that anti-aircraft gun, not so much that one. And we spotted their tank reserves back here. Sorry for triggering your anxiety. Yeah, well, yeah, this is sort of announced a little while ago. I don't know why the timing, whether it's a marketing thing. Okay, we have a reconnaissance aircraft here, so we might as well use it. Come up here, spot them. Got artillery over there. Now, we got two of these R-10s here. I'm going to actually land them. I guess I didn't need to actually fly it, just land those guys. Okay, get a little better view of what's going on. Oh, landmines. Okay. Now, our heavy tanks there. These are the guys who can zoom in a little bit. They have the big main turret and two little small turrets. So they're fairly good at killing infantry. These are little amphibious tankettes, I would call them, because they only have machine guns. Good for underdeveloped areas and moving through. Okay. Thanks, Slytherin. Okay, definitely won't have to wait 2 months. Yeah, there's, whether it's a marketing situation, or we'll just move you up to here. Oh, we'll pound on your artillery. Or whether it's other concerns like still in development. Okay. We want to break through as fast as possible. Okay, so that was a fairly decent result. These guys will be back here. So let's... try to move forward on a broad enough front. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. It's getting a bit old, Harry. Gotta time that one right, just... Okay, so, and I want to move the other air power. I want to have a couple air fighters up here and clear the skies of Japanese air power before I really start using my bombers. Yeah, we'll risk that attack. Okay, good. Didn't. Armas. Oh, our engineers. Let's see. Let's move these guys up here. We'll use trucks. There we go. Yeah, I understand, Slytherin Group, about that, and Ari was talking to me before starting this live stream about doing a World War I thing, and I thought he should bring it up to the chat to see if anybody else is interested. I don't know how much work it would take to build World War I scenarios, because they're a bit different than, you know, air power is a lot weaker and things like that. But you have to look, I don't know how well they would sell. And that honestly comes down to, you know, World War II is a much bigger seller than World War I. And that's always a thing to be concerned with. Okay, see, we just took a heavy hit there on air. Fairly heavy hit there on air. And here comes their bombers. Okay, so, well, let's deal with some of the air here. I really want to grind down. A good one, okay. Now these are twice as strong. Well, they're down to one. Unfortunately, didn't fully take them down. Let's, well, we'll worry about that in a moment. Okay. Now, okay, infantry there. Reconnaissance spotted bunker, and we got on that side of them. Bunker's not going anywhere, but if we can, let's eliminate the artillery. And it gets us to advance, though. Ooh, I don't know if I should have done that. Those tanks will come down there and maybe hit me fairly hard. Let's drive you up to there. Hopefully fully eliminate the... Okay, the artillery's done. One final blow. Anti-air. Anti-aircraft guns. Okay. Yeah, let's start working on these bunkers. Okay, hit hard, hit fast. Okay, that looks like most of what we want to do for the south. Okay, and for up here, now, we got wrecked by this guy, so he's going to come back here and land. These fighters are going to come back and sort of take their place. And these guys are going to come here and land. That airbase is going to get awfully busy now. Okay, we'll use those weak guys just to hopefully do them in. Put my heavy armor there. Okay, well, yeah, we'll need to clear the minefield at some point. Well, I don't know if need is the right term. But it would be nice too. Okay, we got some infantry up there. What are the key features? Well, and now, from what a lot of Ari was saying is he was wanting to look at things like the Ottoman Empire battles, so that's a fairly mobile front, or looking at the Russian side of World War I, where again that is much more of a mobile front than, say, the Western front, or looking down into a place where they become untethered from supply in Tanganyika as well. So he was sort of looking at the more mobile and more interesting, I would say, elements of World War I than just, you know, all's quiet or not so quiet on the Western Front. Yeah, this looks like we'll have a better... Oh, they'll retreat. Oh, well. And because I did things the way I did, he doesn't get to attack this turn. Well, let's move you down to the hills down here. Keep pounding on that artillery. Okay, now what haven't we moved? They can fight either side. This looks like more useful. And a reconnaissance. Yeah, well, let's see what's back here a little better. Okay. Not too much. Now, that doesn't mean things like landmines aren't hiding out there. And... there we go. And no, I'm not going to pursue him because I don't need to... Well, no, let's put pressure on those infantry and everybody else as well. Okay, just our air sitting back there. All right. Uh-oh. Japanese artillery's hitting us. Minor ouch. Thanks for following, very much appreciated. Okay, well, they decided to attack my reconnaissance, their heavy infantry. Okay, well, now it's an 8 to 10, but we still take a pretty big hit. And deliver one back. They don't like my reconnaissance in their rear. Oh, they don't like my horsies. Hey, Brett. Yes, Brett, this is the new Red Star DLC. Okay, so we've taken out 3 of their ground units completely, no air units yet fully taken out, though we did have one went down to 1. Okay, well... Huh... Okay, we'll take the advance, and you saw I messed that up with that when I moved him and didn't attack. Didn't need to move him right there. Okay, oh, no, here, that's... Wanted to move these guys close enough. Shoot down some enemy fighters. And then... come over here with this guy, hopefully fully bring him down. More infantry. Probably not, but... oh, good. Yeah, the Polish conflict, that'd be another interesting one. Polish-Soviet conflict, that would be good. Okay, well, let's move these guys up to the forest and see if we can just eliminate them. I'm not gonna... we can state move them right up next to the dug-in troops. Very good, taking them down. Okay, yeah. Multiple attacks. Concentrate your firepower on one spot. Okay. And yeah, well, they would have been better over there. We'll move you guys. We don't want to move up in trucks in the front. That'll just a means of slaughter for them. Now that that's done, we're going to move them back to our territory and get some reinforcements there. Now, okay, that's a fairly good push in so far, I would say. Now here we've got some more issues. Let's take... oh... This is why I wish there was an undo button for this. Oh well, might as well land you. I meant to just come over here and click on the airbase to see this guy to reinforce him, but no, since I was still clicked on it, select on it. Oh well, no big deal. Oh, landmines, more of those. Okay, be wary, they're all over the place. Let's pound on their artillery some more. Really push it down. Good to hear, Brett. And yeah, but it just sort of the tutorial things you're talking about being free, and that's true, but it does sort of get you into the game, seeing if you like it. I'm just seeing whether we want to... No, that armor is going to be tough. That's going to be tough. So let's move you here. No, we're not gonna follow him deeper into the trap. We'll see if they'd want to attack out of their bunkers. And yes, we'll cut them off from supply. Well, we're under a bit of a time constraint, and we also don't necessarily have the forces to... We have to deal with this armor here, and we have to deal with this armor here, because that's going to be very mobile. And we don't have the forces to maintain a... cutting off the line of supply and maintain it through the strength. So we need to secure this northern flank. Plus, we also actually do need to kill units. But I think... So that got us to there. So we're doing fairly well, I think. Okay. No. Oh, well, we'll move down here and take on the anti-aircraft guns. That'll weaken them. These guys are dug in, so they're harder to hit then. So I'm gonna wait for them to do something. Okay, let's take a look at the... Okay. I don't know what that is. I don't know. That's interesting what that is. Okay. And yep, you're just hanging out at the airport. Okay, Well, they didn't hurt each other. Just shot at each other a bit. Yeah, okay, let's end the turn here. These orange forces, or forces with the orange dots, won't advance, like they say, until we take the city, but they will work some fire support on likely targets. Okay, they moved out of their entrenchment, hitting my somewhat weaker forces there. Now they're coming out of their entrenchments. I knew they would at some point. Could this be the death of my scout car? Maybe. Yeah, Ben Bishop, yeah, some of you guys are... Oh, yeah, that scout car's going on. Might not be the best barometer as to what will sell well, because, you know, die-hard wargamers who, you know what I mean. Okay, well, you're pushing into my armor, you're no longer entrenched. Yeah, I think this is going to be the end of my scout cars. Wow, they didn't die. They're hardly there, though. Okay. Well, we got 7 units ground and 1 air. Alright, well, let's look over here. We're gonna reinforce and move up our heavy infantry. Alright. Not. Now, didn't do any real damage though. Okay. You guys head back to the barn. Get repaired. Good thing you survived. All the Japanese heirs left down here. Okay, well. Alright. Looks to me, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a defensive unit up there, but let's... Maybe there isn't. Man, I should have been bolder. Okay, well, should have been bolder about that. Uh-oh, anti-tank gun. That'll be a bit of an ouch. Move up our slow heavy armor there. Okay, they've got artillery there. Let's give these guys a bit of a strafe. Good. That worked out reasonably well, and yeah, let's send you back to get reinforced. Not that you're going to survive, but we'll try that. Okay, so we're pushing there well. Now, here we have to deal with this mobile armor force before we can really punch in. Yeah, okay, that. Oh, has... Okay, we got to take out that anti-air, because they've lowered the anti-aircraft gun, I guess, to being a anti-tank, anti-ground forces weapon. So it's supporting their... Well, let's force that a bit. I don't need to attack. Do we have... Okay, good fighters. And we're also, these guys I made the mistake with, we'll put you up in the air as well. Yeah, should have done the artillery first. Again, my mistake on that. Now, you did mention not having anybody on the objective, and I was expecting that they did have that, but they did have a reserve armor unit, or reserve armor units there that they pulled off the objective. That was their fault that they didn't. I mean, it was a good, originally planned that way. Let's move you that way. No, we're not attacking there. Well, we should have moved these guys first. Okay, they got anti-air a little far away for there. No, we're not going to push up. Yep, back to those and that. Okay, end the turn here. I have an East Africa campaign. Hello. You decided to come after my air? I think that's going to be your mistake. Yep. Rest in peace. Good little reconnaissance, guys. Surprised they didn't run their armor back to the supply depot. Maybe they just didn't have the movement points. That pushed you back into the swamps. Cut off my armor. That's just going to be a temporary setback, but not a major problem. Okay, 7 and 1 currently. Well, let's go back up to here. Now. Well. they're all the way down to just 1 strength. Wow. No, I'm not going to follow you deeper into enemy territory. Because we're going to see about doing this. Cut you off from supply. Oh, you're all the way down there. Okay. Doesn't cut them off. Reconnaissance units don't take territory, but it still sort of de facto locks them in. Turnabout, turnabout, turnabout. So that's doing okay up there. Now, let's take a look down this way. Okay, fairly good situation there. Ouch, 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 boom, boom, landmines. Well, can only take down 1. Bit of an ouch. It's the flame tank. They don't do so well against enemy armor. Okay, yeah, we got the points. Got to keep focused where our goals are. More landmines. No, we don't want to be on you. We want to... They've already flown, have they? Alright. I don't remember. Okay, guys. Yeah. Now they're going to be much weaker. And I will push with them since they're fairly strong. You reinforce up. Yes. Oh, and I was asked before. This little number to the right of the main strength number, that is how many turns it will remain flying, or how much it has fuel for. So if you wanted to know, the reconnaissance aircraft has no number there because it is an unlimited flyer, where this, he has 2 more turns. So don't, head too far off unless you really think it's important enough to do so. Yeah, we can do an air. Uh-oh, okay, well, we're going to do the airstrike, take a little bit of damage, then fly away. Okay. Now. Oh, he's only at 4. Damn, I thought he was stronger. Oh, well. That was my mistake again. Okay. Our bombers are still waiting. Nope. Yeah, actually, you can just sort of fall back and entrench. Oh, I forgot about those anti-tank guns. Well, whatever. Nope, we're just gonna wait on you. We're gonna reinforce. Yeah, okay. Well, what could we purchase? Could we deploy these guys? No, not yeah. Okay. We lost that and that recon unit. We may buy another one of those. Okay, I'll show you at the change of the turn, Brett. Ouch. Yeah, he's weak against tanks. They don't like my artillery piece. Oh, he broke out. Oh well. And no, we didn't hold. Damn, I thought I had a strong enough armor unit there. Okay, primary objectives in 16 turns. Take this town right here where the bunker is, as you can see that, and destroy 35 Japanese ground units, and secondary is take out 4 aircraft. Okay, so that's the thing. So we're sort of doing a pincer movement around here. Now, we're going to move these guys somewhat out of artillery range. But down here where they can still be effective, I just moved them up a little too far. We're going to move the reconnaissance. Now, I wish it would have held that oil depot, supply depot. That would have been really nice. Use our Maxim guns. Okay, land. I messed up with you. Okay, back up here. Yes, he broke out. He's no longer in the forest, no longer dug in. We can pursue him. There we go. He's gone. And no, I'm not going to pursue him right now. We need more repair work. We have 10 more turns to get to here. And I am keeping an eye on that part of the clock. Hey, Tony First Gen. How you doing today? Glad you made it. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm going to put him up here. He's going to land. And all of these guys are going to come up. Sort of safety in numbers can't. Oh, I guess we've maxed out number of landing and takeoff for the airport. Okay, so they're doing well there. And okay. I think they just reinforced. Anything else I forgot to move? Okay. No, we're not gonna go in trucks. Too dangerous, too dangerous. You're holding the line there. Oh, artillery, man, I forgot to use you. Oh, you need to come home. You need to come home. All right. Have a good night, Brett. Thank you for stopping by. I never can keep track of when you should be awake or asleep. Most likely Mongolian cavalrymen. Japan did have cavalry units, but a lot of what they use, not Mongolian, I should say, sorry, Manchukuoan. Yeah, I figured you'd move to there, but you're still doomed. Air reconnaissance is moving into our rear now. Wow. Nope, you're not going to save them. Yeah, they're cut off momentarily, but... Ooh, weak air force. Maybe we can do that. Take that one down. Okay. So, let's deal with this. We're not using artillery here. Boom! Another one bites the dust. I think it's more important right now to take out the army. Oh damn, I messed that up again. Moving these units too soon. Okay, well. He's also a good infantry killer because of the machine guns on him. Yeah, fall back a little bit and then machine gun the aircraft. Okay. Now you launch. You repair. Get that right this time, gamer. Okay. Repair. Like I said, I wasn't going to save him. A little more of an ouch than I would have liked, but all right. You pursue, you come down here. Yeah, okay. Attack there. Yes, this little situation. Yeah, I know they're weak, but if we just push on them hard enough. Okay, that's good. Reconnaissance, yeah, let's fly over here. And near an anti-aircraft gun, oh well. Okay. I really, in this game, I don't know the mechanics of strategical bombing in detail. There is a manual with the game, and I have read parts of it. I have not read the whole thing. Yeah, you reinforce, you're just hanging out, holding down the flank. Oh, and you are coming here and landing. Yep. Move more fuel. Good, you're taking care of some of the anti-air for me. Ouch. Yeah, a little bit of loss there. Boom. Good job, anti-aircraft gun. Ooh, good work there. They're getting desperate if they're moving up a 1 strength. There, or tank. They've just abandoned that. Or they have some brilliant plan in mind that I'm not fathoming. That hurt. That was an ouch. Okay. Now. Let's put you to rest fully and completely. And yes, I did it to myself again. Moving 2 units and then planning the attack. Okay, well, maybe I'll learn someday, maybe I won't. Yep, you take the supply depot. End them. Just end them. Have them gone, dead, ended. Very good. No, we're not going to move you any further north. Now you guys take off now that you're refueled. Okay, down here. You fall back, but kill him. That's good. You retreat back, reorganize. You just hold there. Just a little bit. Pound them. Not as successful attack as I would have liked. Not enough bonsai attacks. Well, I don't know, maybe there's some stuff coming here. Thanks, Paul Winter and Van Bishop, for answering the question. I do appreciate that. Sometimes I really wish I could answer some of these questions a bit better. Okay, oh yeah, of course, shoot him down. Now that you're refueled. Okay, you're not able to take off yet. You're just there. Hopefully we can deal with this guy a bit better. Yeah, let's do some reconnaissance up here. You move this turn node. You come back now that we sort of know what's going on. We got these things. Come over here. And reinforce. No, just reinforce a bit. Okay. Good job, artillery. Keep reducing them down, make them spend points reinforcing. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Okay, we're not yet halfway there on that. You're getting out of there, and we're repairing you. Okay, it's now turned into an anti-tank gun. So, remember we have that anti-tank gun right there. So we're going to come up here and expose that it's there. Do we still have any enemy air up in this area? Don't think so. But we'll bring you up here. Uh-oh, okay, well. Do a little damage. Fly out of their range. I know I'm moving up here, but okay, well, now he's turned himself into an anti-tank gun, and I do not have infantry enough to just kill him dead. Boom, he's down. Okay, well, let's push. And they're down. Very good. Okay. These tanks are veterans with custom portraits. No wonder why they're... Yeah, no, they are not been easy. Okay, you guys start marching back down here. Probably should have been using the bombers a bit more. Hey, thanks for following the channel. We do appreciate that. Okay, so just randomly clicking. Let's try to figure out. Not quite far enough away from the anti-aircraft gun. suppressing the artillery. You guys can take off. No, we're not attacking the anti-tank gun with our reconnaissance forces. Right, okay, time to end the turn. Hello, PS. Russian Red Army Choir. Ah! Well, that might do it. Yeah, I figured you'd shoot at him, unfortunately. Light him up. Okay. Now down here, let's bring him down here and shoot at the aircraft. And then shoot all of them down, yes. We also saw this. Oh, he's our tactical bomber. No, do we have a good fighter? No, we want to use this one. Okay, this guy needs to start heading back to the airport. All right, well. He is slow, so we need to keep him moving towards our objective, but he'll be a good one for attacking the objective. Well, they'll be here soon. I don't want to lose. We also have that out there. 2 too many places, too many directions. I want to go all at once. Okay. Okay, he's working as an anti-tank gun, which is... Oh, the orange circle guys, they are the more Soviet forces that are sort of holding the line while we do the encirclement. They will free up once I take this town. And then we can control them. So, yeah. Ooh, yeah, see, ooh, that we've got to deal with that guy. Oh, him again. Oh, forgot about him. Oh, he didn't do any real damage. Let's move him back to area we control and some reinforcements. We're still burning through our reinforcements. Yeah, come over here. Oh, somewhat near. No good. We're out of that range. The anti-aircraft gun. Okay. Yeah. And yes, they spotted my trucks and decided they have to bomb them. Ouch. We need to fall back. Oh, I should have probably reinforced those guys. Okay, that's some sort of engineering vehicle. I don't recognize it. Not that I know everything about Japanese armor. Here comes... I don't know if those are Zeros, probably not this early. Zeros, I think, are the what is it, A6Ms. Those are like 1941 or something. Don't remember exactly, but now got this. Oop, hello, airbase up there. Okay, you can't reinforce bunkers, just start pounding on them. Pounding on them, pounding on them. And land. Nobody at home there. Okay. Well, let's come over here and shoot this guy down. We have the Japanese plane up there. Let's head this way. Yeah, we need to head back and reinforce. Okay, that was rather successful. Ah. With a flanking attack. Well, I knew I wasn't going to come off great, but I was hoping a little better than that. Good, that worked out. These things, I've heard it described definitely at night, because those are 4 Maxim machine guns parallel, each with their own, you know, feed magazine. It's sort of like a laser beam. They would normally, for anti-aircraft guns, put more tracers in the belt than standard machine guns, but with 4 of them firing all at once, there'd be a constant stream of green tracer up there, and they would just move that onto the aircraft, you know, like especially at night, but even in the day, I think to some degree. At night you're using searchlights and whatnot, getting them there. Obviously they're fairly low altitude, but supposedly rather effective close air support. Zeros were very good. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Yeah, Zeros were really good, but they had some weak spots, of course. Part of it's just a design philosophy. They were designed for long-range operations, so that they wanted to shed any extra weight. So the idea of self-sealing tanks, which Japan knew the technology, just never bothered to implement it. The idea of any armor, it was like, hey, you know, we're always going to be attacking our enemy, so the engine is the armor, and other things like that. So they came up with a really nice high-performance aircraft, but if you knew how to fight it, and Chenault with his tactics was able to do it with the the P-40s. And then you also have the Thatch Weave, which I wish I could show you my hands. I could sort of show you how the Thatch Weave, that would do well. But when the British, who were using a lot of Brewster Buffaloes in Burma, tried to dogfight it in the sort of World War I style, just didn't work out well, and they lost badly to the Zeros. Yeah. Well, I don't know about the weakness of the engines, exactly what you're saying, because they were fairly powerful, fairly speedy. It's just, not perfect. But you always have to, with Japan, you always have to remember, they are, how do I put this? Dealing with limited production capabilities. They just aren't. I just don't want to go near that super anti-aircraft gun, and we're doing just fine holding here. Once we take that town, we basically cut off their supplies to everything else. Okay, oh, we can come up to here and shoot at this guy. Ooh, got 1 damage. Very good. Hey, thanks for subscribing. We really do appreciate that here. Oh, that also took them, the bunker, down by 1. Getting low on reinforcement points, so I don't want to waste them on units that it's not critical with. Now you're fairly weak. Let's head you back. Hey, for Okanju. Not the smartest place to leave you, oh well. Not the smartest move, moving away from that anti-tank gun setup. Okay, well, we've got 20 the 35 units that we need to destroy destroyed. That is good. Now that these guys moved away, no, we don't really want to move further away than that. Okay, horses are down. Oh, that was a mistake. Should have gone after the other guy. Yeah, you need to head back to an air base. I guess we can head down here. I should have attacked. Well, no, we'll take it this turn. Nomun Han is in our hands after you were able to outflank the enemy and took Nomun Han. Our center forces are ordered into the offensive. Okay, so we now have... Okay, maybe it's next turn. We'll get those freed up. Okay, we'll pursue. And we'll pursue. Actually, we'll use you and see if we can just kill them all. Very good. Rich had Spitfires, example defending Singapore sky, and the Legend Zero would become 0. It definitely would have helped. I think, did they have Hawker Hurricanes in the theater? I'm not sure. Oh man. I think all the Spitfires were, you know, purely in Britain at that time, or maybe some out in North Africa. I think there were Brewster Buffaloes in crates that had yet to be assembled, captured at Singapore by the Japanese. Yeah, no, they could have. Britain could have done a lot better. It just, there's various things with all of that. Kill this airbase up here. Okay, well, let's move you down here. Oh yeah, fire at them. Well, okay. One, Japan had basically run out of ammunition, the Japanese forces did. Had you been able to get air superiority and hit the Japanese forces as they were moving along the roads down Malaya Peninsula, you could have slowed them up. You could have done a lot more air attacks. It could have been a different situation. That alone wouldn't have meant winning or losing. I will agree to that. But there's more to it than just that. Okay, that was maybe not the best thing. We'll reinforce there. But okay. Warfare mostly turns on... Get a little close to that. Anti-air, anti-air. Looking for safe targets. Well, no, we're just gonna... Yep, I see you there. We're just still gonna hammer you. You still have any movement now? Okay, we've almost got the gap closed. We functionally do, but not quite. You know, warfare happens and this goes back to Sims and Singapore. He was defeated before the Japanese got to the outskirts of Singapore Island. Securing some of the water supply and things definitely put the nail in the coffin. But he was defeated before that happened. But like I'm saying, Japan was functionally out of the Japanese forces were functionally out of ammunition when they were on the outskirts of Singapore, and the Japanese or the Singapore military garrisons, and there had been a couple of fresh divisions just landed recently in there, and so they weren't necessarily battle hardened or whatever. But had they done any sort of offensive on Singapore out there, the Japanese would have been in a world of hurt, and that counteroffensive would have been a reasonable success. I'm not saying it would have captured all of the Japanese or won the whole Malaya campaign. It may have, but it would have at least pushed them out of the immediate region of Singapore and shown the commander, Garrison Sims, that you don't need to surrender right now. And if you had the some better air power, that would limit Japan's ability to resupply, because Japan isn't going to send in supply ships into an area that it doesn't have air superiority. So, you know, it's what's going on in the commander's mind, not as necessarily the reality on the ground. And so that, excuse me, so that is why Sims lost that, because he was already beaten by all of his stop forces. Kept getting cut off, and they had to fall back by going around them through the jungle. And so he just lost it as a commander. So he was just out of capability. So, you know, air power and other things can change that situation, that perception of what is happening. Well, Paul Winter, yep, you're right, but what's more important to Britain? I think the most important thing was to keep the Soviet Union in the fight, because so long as the Soviet Union was in the fight, Britain could survive. And of course, Churchill thought Singapore was sort of, the Gibraltar of the East. He was wrong about that, but he thought they were. Yeah, they had problems. They were green, absolutely. But I'm just saying, it's just in a breakout attempt, the Japanese just couldn't have received it. I don't know what they would have done. I don't know whether they would have gone to bayonet fighting, but they were literally just really running out of both like artillery ammo as well as just small arms ammo. And there was, any dedicated push would have done it, would have pushed them off. And okay, well, I guess the AI is still going to control these guys, but they're now going on the offensive. Thought we might have controlled them, but guess not. Well, maybe even it could be World War I dooms the Empire. And Churchill just didn't know it. Kind of thing. Ouch! Fighters down. Our fighters are down. Yeah. Yeah. P.S. That's sort of what I'm saying is the Empire was already sort of done by that point. Breakout attempt. Cut off from the main sources of supply. Japanese forces start a last-ditch attempt to reestablish coherent defensive line around Nomonhan. Okay, well, let's see. Okay, Air Ace. The intense air battles, one of our fighter pilots successful enough to join a prestigious club of Air Aces. Okay, so we now have Commander enlisted Lev Kozachenkov. Sorry, I'm butchering that. Never heard of him. Probably should have, but haven't. Okay. I don't know if we need to push there. Yeah, we don't need to go run into those forces. But what we do need to do is cut off that officially. So now they are completely cut off. We'll reestablish supply to our friends. These are our dive bombers. Where do we want to send them? Over here, I guess. Maybe we should have still pounded him. Oh, I don't know. Okay, well, you get to head back to the airbase as well. And another fighter down. Oh, I should have moved them after that. Base up there. Yes, we will hopefully take down the core units now, or the unit, the trapped units here. Don't really know how I should use these at this point. That's our reconnaissance. You can just stay there. Here we go. Yeah, I could, there we go. Now we have him there. Good idea. Just, I don't know how much more air action we're going to have this scenario. Why didn't you break out before attacking? Why are you doing that, horsies? Okay, you won, but still that was a stupid move. You not like horses, AI? I'll check the attributes in a moment of the pilot. Ouch. Okay, we have to kill 5 more units for get our primary objective. Well, to that end, go. Cut the anti-air unit off. Well. Not that it's going to save them, but let's at least try to save those cut-off troops. As to the pilot, okay, against air attacks against small +1, air attacks against large +2, I gather. So there's his attributes. Okay, and we're running out of fuel, so head back to base. Why aren't you in? Well, that'll at least give them better supply. I think this would be considered a route. Not that it didn't cost anything, obviously. There was casualties, there were losses. Nope, you just keep holding the supply point. You can fly up here. Okay, another anti-aircraft gun and airbase. Good one, Van Bishop. Boom. Why did you attack? I know you had one strength. You could have just withdrew. We're winning. We're not like the Japanese. It's not like we have to attack or we're done for. Okay, well, we only need to destroy 2 more units. Let's see how well we can do this. You take that. You secure that. Yeah, I see the anti-tank gun there. Victory is imminent. Our forces are causing serious losses to the enemy. There you see Russian troops looking into, what is that, a Hago or something? I don't know the Japanese tank names that well. There we go. Back and land. I don't think we'll get to the other base there. Don't need to go near the anti-aircraft gun. going to cut off their supply to those units. Yeah, I don't know if it counts or not for sure. I'm guessing it does, but I don't know. I don't even know if I should bother. No, I shouldn't really. Yeah, okay, we could do that without getting hit by anti-aircraft fire. A little worried about just having aircraft run out of fuel, but other than that, okay, I think we will end the turn here. Major victory. Your skilled offensive has finally defeated the Japanese forces and forced them to ask for peace. As Tokyo shows no appetite for further clashes, Moscow is pleased with your far eastern border, or with our far eastern borders are secure. Now, the consequence of this battle is that Stalin feels, that, like I talked about earlier, the Kuomintang in Manchukuo is sort of an independent force, not necessarily responding to orders from Tokyo or following, or just, doing its own thing at time. Not like they've told them not to do something, they're just doing things. But Japan does sort of put the foot down and going, hey, after this loss, you've got to stop this. We're settling the border dispute, and sets that up. That gives Stalin the confidence that the Far East is secure to set up with the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact and to go after Poland next. So he's no longer worried about his Far East. He's now looking to move west. And that is one of the consequences. Now, I'm not saying to the extent that Stalin wouldn't have signed the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact without this victory. And had this been a complete total disaster, he probably wouldn't have. Because it could lead to, because remember, Poland is allied with Britain and France. It could lead to war with them. And if you already have functionally war with Japan, you're now fighting a two-front war. Not just with Poland, but with the Western Allies. But if it had just sort of been a stalemate, I could still see Stalin going ahead with the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Thank you for the congratulations. I do appreciate it. Flag says for heroic victory against Japanese samurai. Thank you, Firefly Boy. I did not know that. Very cool. Well, Van Bishop, yes, in a way, but that is much further down the road. That's 2 years later. And that's after the defeat of France. And Britain besieged. So that's part. I mean, if if Japan really thought that any moment. Oh well, and also of course you have Barbarossa has happened, so they know the Soviets won't go. Oh, we just want to change the borders now and move because they're fighting with the Germans as well. So yeah, pacts, you know, truces, whatever. Those do have some impact on things, absolutely. But knowing that the Soviet Union is fighting for its life also helps greatly with the idea that Japan can move south. That like a unit citation. Yeah, I don't know about that. It could be, or it could just be some local thing made up. I don't know how the Soviets dealt with all of that. They start forming, I think, and I'm not an expert on the Soviets, but I think they only start forming guards units after their war with the Germans. You got to remember, Stalin is in fear of the army. He wants the army terrified of the Chetka, the secret police. The NKVD, whatever you want to call it all. So, whether that's just a celebratory thing or something that's more like a British or an American battle ribbon type thing. Okay, no, we don't need to save the replay. Okay, now, well, since we have time, let's look at this. Next scenario. So now, after we've done the first three missions in the east, we jump to Europe, and excuse me, we look at Poland. Tensions have been rising after Germany has begun to rearm and demand various territorial concessions from its neighbors. On September 1st, German forces openly invaded Poland, with France and Britain allied to the Poles. This move will surely plague the whole continent, or plunge the whole continent into war. You have gained 3 new specialization points. Do you want to consult the specialist? Sure, we'll do that now. Okay, so I don't know. Okay, it looks like we have 5, so we could do more experience, fighter school. Okay, let's do the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact that we were just talking about there. Not sure that that's the best choice, but we'll take that. So now we're looking at Grodno. September 39, with German invasion of Poland progressing rapidly, Moscow starts to occupy the western half of the country. Thanks for the information, Firefly Boy. And so it's only really the need for morale boosting for things like the Guards divisions and turning it into the Great Patriotic War. And really, and again, Flyboy seems to know this better than I do, by a lot. But my understanding is the propaganda starts, sometime after Barbarossa, to change from sort of the Communist International type, the Comintern, that type of propaganda, back to Russian nationalism, because that had been wanting to be suppressed by the Soviets. Any sort of nationalism, Russian, Baltic states, Ukraine, various, Georgian, Azerbaijani, whatever nationalism they wanted to suppress. So, okay, we can start the mission briefing. Excuse me. As you know, the German military invaded Poland September 1. A few days later, both Britain and France declared war on Germany after all attempts to reach a collective security arrangement with those Western nations failed. Moscow agreed to a non-aggression pact with Germany in late August. Okay. I'm thinking how I should say this. I would have to disagree with this statement. I've done some research, been more than a year ago, looking into this. After all attempts to reach a collective security agreement with those Western Allies nations failed. No. Britain led a Franco-British, they're both French and British, primarily military figures, had traveled to the Soviet Union before the Ribbentrop-Molotov Pact was signed, basically simultaneous while Ribbentrop and Molotov were negotiating. I think it was a British admiral who was leading the team. Boy, I didn't expect this, so I haven't looked this back up again. Dealt with some other Soviet foreign minister types. Not the foreign minister, but other ones. And they were trying to negotiate a collective security agreement with the Soviet Union. Were willing to give much there. But the one thing they weren't willing to go for was the idea of Soviet territory expanding, say, into the Baltic states, possibly Poland, possibly Finland. I don't know quite what the Soviets were telling the Western Allies they needed to have, but the Western Allies were trying to negotiate with the Soviet Union. This was happening simultaneously, and they didn't, to my best of my knowledge, didn't know the Molotov-Ribbentrop negotiations were going on. But since Hitler was willing to give them a free hand in Finland, Estonia, and Latvia, and the eastern roughly half of Poland, Lithuania was going to be in the German sphere of influence. Since Hitler was willing to give them that, Stalin took Hitler's offer, Hitler's bid, if you will, instead of the Western Allies. Now, the pre-invasion borders that were drawn for Poland were adjusted partially because of greater German success, and the Germans decided they sort of wanted to keep the territory, so they sort of did a swap. We'll keep this area that we've occupied of Poland. You get to have Lithuania in your sphere as well. So that was, they sort of did a land swap privately after the fall. So that's, I don't know what they're going to say next, but I would sort of disagree with this on a historical basis. I don't know about Romania as well. I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong on that. And I know they ended up taking some territory. Back, I think it was 36 or 37, Romania sends a delegation first to France to try to sign a mutual defense pact. France just says no, flat out no, because France is still in trauma and shock from the First World War, and know that there's no real way that they're going to put any real effort into defending Romania. Now, this is entirely at that time looking at the Soviet Union. Not that Germany isn't in the back of people's mind, but this was, I think, even before Germany gets into Austria, but definitely before Czechoslovakia and all of that. So Germany is still far off of a threat for Romania. Romania is mainly worrying about the Soviets. And then it had already been planned, already been scheduled. Then the delegation goes to Britain and also asks for a mutual defense pact. Britain basically says, no, we can't do it, since the French won't. We can't do this on our own. So that gets turned around. Hitler also at this time, 36 through 37, approaches Romania, and Romania says no. Romania wants to be allied, particularly with France, but that all falls apart. Now things change once Czechoslovakia is divided up, and the first Vienna Awards, and Hungary is looking at getting some Romanian territory, and there's more maneuverings going on. So I don't know quite how and when for Romania in whose spheres. Not saying you're wrong, just saying I don't know from all that. Hello, Romka. Well, you see, there was a problem. Why Poland wouldn't allow passage of Soviet troops to Czechoslovakia? Because they wanted part of Czechoslovakia. So they were like, yeah, great. We're going to take, and I forget the name of it, it's a little corner of Czechoslovakia. We're going to take this. This was a region that was predominantly Polish. We want this territory. Who cares about collective security agreement? So they actually sided with Germany in carving up Czechoslovakia. And while they were pushing to get the Sudeten land, Germany had already started pushing for the Danzig corridor. That has already been ongoing. So Germany is already pushing for demands of territory. Early stages, it's demands of more transit rights and other things. So Poland's already being pushed on. Very, very short-sighted. Now, plus, Poland has fought one war with the Soviet Union for its independence and is paranoid of Soviet troops coming across as well. There's also that aspect, too, of why they wouldn't want to do that. Since Poland is now on the verge of collapse due to the invasion, we aim to secure the areas under Polish control since the Polish-Soviet War of 1920 to deflect a diplomatic backlash. Moscow declares that we have to protect Ukrainians and Belarusians living in eastern Poland. Our initial advances have been met by little resistance from Polish units, but now their stance has become more hostile since there are good chances that we may be able to surprise the Polish units wholly unprepared for combat. But expect growing resistance when we advance deeper into Polish territory, up into here. Okay. Seize your objective as quickly before the Poles can organize more serious defense, but make sure that isolated units do not sneak into your rear. Polish Air Force has been hit hard by the German air power, so we do not expect air activity in this region, and command agrees to deploy recon aircraft to scout the areas ahead. Very good. Okay, well, don't know, we don't have too much time for this, so but let's take a quick look here. We've got a lot of points now that we had a major victory instead of just sort of squeaking by. Take Grodno, take all secondary objectives, 20 turns I presume, deploy 2 core tanks before turn 2, complete in 18 turns, so complete 2 turns early. Alright. Okay, Commander, please by your skill you demonstrated when leading mechanized formations, and adds a unit of light T-38 tanks to your forces. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, these are really neat little vehicles. They are amphibious, designed to be so. Now they are really I would call them not light tanks but tankettes, in that they only have a single machine gun. They're 2-man, and so if you're looking at a region that is, and I don't know how well these would do in swamps, I just honestly don't know, But little amphibious vehicles, you got lots of rivers that don't necessarily have lots of bridges. A good way to move around. And if you're facing an enemy that doesn't have lots of tanks, and even if it does have some tanks, still mobile machine gun boxes, pillbox type things, are useful against infantry units to keep them suppressed. Primary objectives, take all secondary. Yeah, I sort of felt the same about that. Yes, that's Zalozi or whatever. I've seen it spelled in different fashions, depending Czech, German, or Polish. Okay. What can we deploy? Okay. Well, so we're looking at down here is going to be our main thrust, a little bit to the north. Okay, we're looking at speed, but they're giving us a bunch of these guys, or no, these are just left over from the last campaigner. Don't know. But we want BTs because we want to move fast. With enough tank units ready for combat, we should be able to conclude this operation swiftly. Well, good. Firepower support. Now, okay, I can't purchase transport for this. Okay. Where's my little flame tank? Here, oh, okay, we got two of these. Okay. Down there. Not enough air supply. Okay, they're not going to let us do that air. But I think maybe we can do these reconnaissance air units. Oh, no, we can't deploy anymore. It doesn't look like. Okay. Okay, well, let's give this a shot. At least we'll start this. Yes, you're very right, Paul Winter, about that. Polish-Czech relations. It was not a healthy thing. It was a very short-sighted thing. Okay. Realize that this is still a beta test version I'm playing, so I know if you noticed before we didn't have a photo, so take that as one of the other things. So presumably we'll have a picture of Soviet supply or something. Due to our fast advanced logistics, units have trouble keeping up secure. More supply quickly. Include the operation. Okay. Okay, well. No, let's start with our aerial reconnaissance. I see that they have the what looks to be an anti-aircraft gun there, but we'll... Okay, Polish logistic units consisting of transport trucks have been completely overwhelmed by our forces. Without much bloodshed, our troops were able to secure a few resources. Very good. Nope. Good thing we moved them up here. We spotted some Polish infantry. Instead of thinking we were going to just run past them. So these are the amphibious tanks. Looks like we can just push in there. We'll move the heavy infantry up. Speed of advance has taken the Polish by surprise, and AA unit caught unprepared. No choice but to surrender. Okay, very good. And yes, there. Okay, anti-tank guns. Oops, well, good thing we found them with our reconnaissance and not our... bump into them unexpectedly. Okay, these guys have some fight in them. Can we deploy any more forces? No, it doesn't look like it. Just checking. Oh, cancel. Okay, that's all we can supply currently, I gather. Oh, cancel what? Oh, him. Anybody else that we want to move? Oh, we could fire there. Okay. Continue. Ouch. We're going to bypass him and move these guys up. Uh-oh, bumped into some infantry, damn. Okay. Well, it looks like that may be open. Nope, they didn't. They were heading into town. Remember that, guys. These towns have infantry in them. And if you don't get a good, clear look at it... Yeah, maybe I should have been... reconnaissance, flying out a bit more. I don't know that that was a good move. Yeah, that's... We need infantry down here. Get out of the river, should have moved before. Oh, some TKS tankettes also, I would call those. Yeah, you can take that. Ah, hey Rick. Good to have you here, my friend. How far do we want to push this? We've got these guys coming to protect there. We're supposed to get Grodno, so yeah, let's see if we can run. Oh, we ran into somebody. Them? Okay, they have a zone of control or something that... Force, let's see, can we deploy anybody more now? Nope, because I could use some more infantry down in the south here. Okay, well. Okay, I can tell you that, Rick. What you need to do is, on your aircraft here, this is a reconnaissance aircraft, so it has unlimited, but you'll see the number 9 is your strength unit. Right next to that, where there's a little bar on this one, there'll be another number. And that one will tell you how many turns left that you have fuel for. So, like I say, these are reconnaissance aircraft, so they're unlimited fuel. But they'll normally be right where my the little sort of square thing going in and out. There'll be another number, and that will give you your fuel gauge, and just in the number of turns. And you can fly the full distance of your aircraft in each turn. And yes, they got cut off. Okay. Oh wait, we can link up and get supply again. No, there were some horse units or something moving up there, so we'll cover that flank. Yeah, there's the horse unit up there. Okay, keep pressure upon them, keep pushing, push, 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 push. Yeah, why not? Okay. I need to do better reconnaissance. Yes, I have the reconnaissance aircraft right here. And we're near. You're in their zone. Okay, well. Yep, keep pushing so they don't just turn around on us. Yeah, because otherwise they'll just come back and cut us off in the rear. And I can come up there. Okay, well, we've now run out of time. I do so enjoy playing this. So this is the first real look at the new Red Star DLC for Order of Battle. Coming soon. The Slitherine channel said don't expect it to be months, but so I'm guessing, well, less than 2 months or something. But yeah, so be ready to order this if this is something you want to see, sort of a different view of World War II in Soviet's early action from 1938 to 41. It does not include, Barbarossa and the German attack on that. It stops before then. So check it out when it's out. Thanks so much for watching. If you like other historical games, you can check out my Twitch channel. That's gamer_1745, and also similarly on YouTube, gamer_75. So you can subscribe there if you like. And thanks Van Bishop, Unknown, Paul Winter, John Kaminsky, Zero, everyone else, thanks so much. See you next time.